So, I Know What You Did Last Summer, 2025, what are my thoughts? I thought that this particular film was a good sequel to the I Know What You Did Last Summer because it looked like it was some kind of reboot / remake. Whatever they want to class it as, it worked. It wasn't as good as the original, no. Was it as good as the second one? No, not in my opinion, but it was still good. And one that I would go back and rewatch in a few years' time when you're looking at horror movies and stuff like that. And I think it injects that 90s horror in today's day and age, in which it's missing. And those kind of slasher movies are missing. Because when Thanksgiving got released, that was sort of like a merge of I Know What You Did Last Summer and Scream, and that worked. And so did Scream when that returned, and it will return again next year. There's seriously a lack of those kind of movies, which they need to go back to. So we all should know really what the story of I Know What You Did Last Summer is. If you go back to the very first film, it's simply a group of teenagers cause an accident, which is, in that particular film, they run over somebody, they try to cover it up, they try to jump in the body and say to each other, we're not going to tell anybody about this, we don't want to get in trouble with the police, because several of them were drinking, you know what I mean, they don't want to get into that fuss, so they dump the body and hope nobody ever finds out. Year later, that's where they get notes and stuff, and the killing starts happening. Same happens in this particular reboot / sequel, whatever you want to call it, where this group of teenagers goes out, drinking, driving, whatever. They start dancing around in the middle of the road, or at least one of them does, causes a crash and causes the person to go off the cliff. And before they can actually go down and save them, they think he's dead or whatever. They send the police to go check on him, but they don't stick around and they try to cover it up, and everybody covers it up. Then the killings start happening again, linked to the stuff that happened the previous summer when they get the note, the awesome note which says now the film is starting to begin, and now this group of teenagers get hunted down by a vicious killer. That's sort of the premise of what I Know What You Did Last Summer is all about, and I'm surprised I haven't made more within these years of not having any I Know What You Did Last Summer, because to be fair, that could have happened several times over with copycat killers and stuff, and the idea and principle is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. And since Saw's got about 10 fucking sequels, and you've got fucking Scream on its like Scream 100 or some shit, I don't know if it's just because they're more enjoyable, those kind of franchises, not sure, but I think this one should have definitely fucking had one. And it's like, what are they waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
What am I waiting for? What am I waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
Fuck you!
And yeah, I think it was great having those trio back again of Ray, Julie, and Helen in some way, shape or form to acknowledge the fact that it's linked to their first film. I think it was great how they were also involved in that twist. Well, not Helen, but the other two were. Because I love that end of the film, because it just looks like everything is happening at once. It looks like the pastor could be behind it all, because everything points to him, everything towards the killings. He knew the person that died. It all makes sense. It's probably the pastor, right? And then it's like, no, it's fucking not. And it's actually Stevie. And it's like, what? Stevie? Do you mean that person that literally joined them on that night out of the blue? And it's like, oh shit, that makes a lot of sense. And I honestly didn't call that. Like, I think we were all like pressing and guessing sort of thing, going, oh, it could be this person, oh, this person. And I was one of those that actually thought maybe it's the pastor or the pastor's wife even, because they seem to know the family. It made a lot of sense. But then when it was revealed it's Stevie, it was like one of those oh shit moments where it's like the pennies dropped. That makes a lot of sense. And I think having it be her was fucking cool, because it made sense why all the family died, and then why suddenly she started to be best friends with them all again when she just went out for them with that one night, and now she's best friends a year later. I mean, after something traumatic like that, surely you'd hide away. But this is because she wants revenge, because her friends ditched her, these exact friends that she had at school, ditched her during tough moments in her life. And she weren't going to stand by as they nearly tried to ruin another part of her life when they killed her boyfriend. But the part that you don't really think about is, could she have an accomplice? Because in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, there is a second part, and it is revealed to be none other than Ray, of all people. That is the biggest plot twist going. And I don't know if this has upset a lot of people, and that's why this has got like a 5.7 IMDb or some shit. But I think it was a plot twist deserved, because it made a lot of sense. Nobody talks about the stuff that went on. They tried to cover up the killings that happened in that town all those years ago. There's no remembrance for those people that got killed. And I think it was more like justice, because he was on the receiving end last time, where he was in that car and he caused an incident, and sort of now he's on the flip side, where he was asked for help by Stevie to get revenge on them. And I think that was fucking brilliant, in all fairness. I think it's brilliant. Yes, Ray ends up getting killed, or does he at the end? Stevie somehow apparently survives, according to reports. And I think that is just a fantastic end to the film. I think you couldn't have done anything better. And I think they got everything out of this. They literally squeezed that lemon, squeezed that orange, and got all the fucking good juice out of it. And I think, you know what? If they made another sequel, I wouldn't be mad at it. Before we jump back into this video, guys, please do us a massive favour and smash that subscribe button, because you do not want to miss a thing this week, next week, and the week after, because we've got tons and tons of content planned for you guys. And you can do us a massive favour by smashing that subscribe button, joining the community, getting updates to all the latest videos, from the YouTube shorts to the actual videos. It is well worth it, completely free, and you will not regret it. So to summarise then, I think that this is easily 7.6 out of 10 and a great film, and one of the better films of 2025. That just shows the level quality of the 2025 movies, not gonna lie. But if you've enjoyed this video, guys, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That would be much appreciated, because we upload content quite often and you don't want to miss a fucking thing. Speaking of content, you probably haven't watched this video of 28 years later, the movie review, seeing my reaction to it and seeing what you guys think. Getting down in those comments down below, you want to let me know anything about that particular film that you disagree with, then click on that video and let me know.